defense of the Umbrella Corporation. It ain't really their fault, bro. Now let me explain. They've tried their best of actually solving the issue at hand. Most, if not everyone who plays Resident Evil will know who Umbrella is. It's the one that's deployed and hired the best waifu. That's right, hunk, but that's besides the point. Apparently, they're supposed to be the bad ones. And they're especially bad in the terrible Netflix version where for some reason they, I don't know, forgot they had these cool-ass suits and instead make them look entirely like a German sex dungeon. Bro, why? The Night Guards have a uniform. And it's... People know how to make it. It's... Come on, dude. Before I go into a rant, they are evil in the terrible Netflix version. But, like, stupidly evil. Like, I have no idea what their plans are. And for some reason, they're all out in the future still. Even though in the actual Resident Evil franchise, Umbrella Corporation gets sued and closed by the United States government. Bro, come on. Now, before I start actually defending them, I will say, Wesker may be a bit bad. However, to a point, he is base, so I believe we should give him a pass. And really, the only bad thing that Umbrella Corporation may be is that they may have connection to France, which, yes, is truly sad. Not as bad as how they're being treated on Netflix, but still pretty awful. It's a corporation of loose ties to a simple line of, I don't know, basic knowledge of Darwinism in simple terms, but that's not the corporation. That's just what some top-leveled guys think at the company, which many normal companies also believe that, like most of the world during the 50s and 60s. So I say unfair to judge them on that. Come on. Then we get to the apparently incriminating stuff. You must be thinking, like, well, they completely poisoned and nuked pretty much Ohio. Pretty much. And then had bioweapons around the world wreaking havoc, which is just a gross oversimplification because they're not the ones who nuked Raccoon City. It was actually the U.S. Represent!
Bruh!
Also, this is not even a joke. I do actually think Raccoon City may be based on Ohio. Now, into defense mode of why the company isn't actually that bad. Because the real villains, in fact, are the ones under them. That's right, it's the employees' fault. Yo boy, William Birkins, was signed onto the company to help in research for superhumans' bioweapons. Which, you know, might sound bad, but like in real life, the current CIA, who totally didn't kill JFK, and my boy RFK better be watching. Or at least play, you know, Black Ops 2. You'll understand the point if you played Black Ops 2 story mode. That is besides the point. What I'm getting at is that the CIA is a real-world place, right? In the United States, on U.S. soil, and they have always done some really shady-ass shit. Ever heard of MK Ultra, where they gave drugs to U.S. citizens to see if we can brainwash them to essentially snitch better? Or how about the horrific attempt to make women and their unborn babies radiation immunity? I.e., the feds fed uranium to pregnant women. And then we get to Umbrella Corporation, which, just on a side note, unlike the actual U.S., Umbrella Corporation pretty much just operates as any scientific research facility. Everybody who they ever tested on were subjects who allowed themselves to get tested on, or were just actual criminals. So, you know, fair game, I say. And yes, some people may know that the Umbrella Corporation did make vaccines and apparently hid them, but like, no duh, are you telling me every cancer research out there isn't hiding the actual cure to cancer? It's just smart, okay? They're making money, they're a business, okay? They're just smart. And let's just clear the air. It's not Umbrella's fault that the virus spread. It's the people that work under them. Because, yeah, they quite literally hired a nutcase, a fucking beta, who wanted to continue his work. But the supposedly bad Umbrella Corporation was told by the U.S. to stop doing that shit, and they said fine. Then boom, they sent in the best of the best. Look at my boy! However, the schizophrenic fucking William said, nah, Marlene shall be with me and the rest of the world. Then he tried to make his schizo pills, but forgot and became the Terraria monster, but presumably quickly dies. But how in the hell would Umbrella know that? What was gonna happen? Come on, they didn't. They wanted to get out quick and done, but then Raccoon City got affected, which, yeah, bad on them, but they at least tried solving the issue before this happened. It wasn't their fault. They even let people get extracted before the nuking. I mean, one person, but he's clearly the most important one there. And then the U.S. nuked the place, which, bad for the Earth, but also letting a highly contagious zombie virus spread? Nah, bro, nuke Ohio to the ground. That's just some good old-fashioned smart damage control. And then we get to the Umbrella Corporation themselves. I have been harping pretty hard on the US government, especially using them as examples for more evil things than the actual corporation themselves. But also, here's the thing. Who do you think Umbrella is selling to? They're selling to world leaders in Europe. You know, the people who are all about the Green Party are trying to buy bioweapons, and where they're located. The US is trying to buy. Simple cause and effect. Supply and demand. Think about it. If it wasn't for Umbrella Corporation, some other company would have tried to take the market. But Umbrella Corporation clearly said, nah, we got the best uniforms, we'll take it from here. Now on to some more incriminating stuff that you may say, that's pretty horrible. Nemesis, Mr. X, I'm actually not 100% sure if they're supposed to be the same thing. I'm just going to assume so because they're both white and bald. Apparently they're released to kill the remaining survivors, but hey, don't take any chances. If a survivor may be affected, you might as well just get rid of them. And also, again, they're releasing them to attack the US. Because in case you guys didn't know, the Umbrella Corporation was getting a bit paranoid thanks to the good old US. I mean, Ada Wong just casually looking like the biggest red flag. Literally a Chinese spy. But, you know, under the US. Because in case you guys didn't know, in the Resident Evil world, yeah, the United States wanted to make their own version of bioweapons. They essentially wanted to steal the info Umbrella had. So you know what Umbrella did? They said, screw you guys. Send out the bald man. Kill the STARS members. Yeah, screw you guys. They were literally fighting for their right, for their research. And none of this would have happened if William Birkins didn't go, oh, my schizophrenia is acting up, I gotta get my pills! And then the US said, boom, we got them there, boys. Now we're gonna take all their information, their money, we're gonna sue them out of the ground. But then Umbrella said, nah, dog, hold this. Dogs! Anyways, I'm getting a bit sidetracked here. Now, there's one more thing that the Umbrella did that was supposedly bad. A whole ass island being killed by them. Except, it wasn't them. It was a terrorist. Now, some of you may know that some terrorists actually have the virus. Is that Umbrella's fault? No. That's the US fault. It is the US domino-like effect making the bioweapon company an enemy. That's just asking for it. And then when Umbrella tries to do damage control, they lose the G virus, okay? And people pick it up. And I don't really think terrorists picking up the forgotten G virus they left behind is Umbrella's fault. I mean, if a terrorist sees a bioweapon or something that can make them stronger, of course they're gonna pick it up, dude. That's like a no-brainer. If I'm a terrorist, I'm picking up the bioweapon. That is gonna sound so bad. You know what? That's right. I am a terrorist. And you know what would also help? Making companies super evil? Spying on them. I know I've already said this, but to really drive the force home, the United States was spying on Umbrella. They were trying to get the research for themselves. And also, here's the thing. Umbrella gets sued and then they shut down, right? They don't keep fighting, they just let themselves get shut down. So clearly they have some responsibility built in. The failures and paranoia of the Umbrella Corporation, faults lies in the US. It is an unfortunate domino-like effect where they hired some schizophrenic, shit hits the fan, and now they're also scared because the US literally seized their bank accounts. So you may be asking yourself, so you're defending the Umbrella Corporation, correct? What is the point you're trying to make then? If they're not the bad guys, who is? And all I'm saying, in the Resident Evil franchise, they're just not the bad guy. They may have produced some boss fights for us, but they are not the bad guys. The real bad guys is the United States. Very clearly, I feel like this is true. Oh, now here's some real-world information for you guys, just in case you know, I am saying the US is bad in the Resident Evil franchise, but also, if Umbrella Corporation did exist, I wouldn't be too surprised if the US did spy on them, considering the fact that the US started an actual bioweapon program in spring of 1943 under the United States President. That's right, the worst president ever, Franklin D. Roosevelt, the biggest actual asshole of a president. Anyways, thanks for watching. Do be sure to actually argue with me, because I'm 100% sure that a lot of the stuff I said in this video is probably wrong, considering the fact I just summed up a wiki article. Thank you, Resident Evil fandom. And I'm genuinely curious if a lot of the stuff I said is either false or correct. Maybe? Anyways. Send out the bald man!